one day when I was I 12 or 13? 12. My dad, never had a lick. He didn't have. But somehow he bought a brand new car. He had never owned a car, but he bought a brand new one, a 1948 Plymouth. So I was 12 years old. And I didn't hang around with good kids. I hang around bad kids in Highland Park, Michigan. It's now totally dark there, but it was a bad area. And a buddy of mine helped me start my dad's brand new car. I probably had it a week. He put a dime underneath the ignition. Don't ask me how. I was 12 years old, and the windshield's up here, and I'm here, and I took the car out of the backyard, drove it down the alley. Whoops, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I don't know. I made it around the block, and the dime fell out. It got too hot, and I jumped over the curb with the car. And I talked about my mom watching out for me. I didn't hit a thing. Nobody got hurt. Everything was. My brother beat the living hell out of me. He was the oldest of his 4 kids, and that's the only time I was ever reprimanded physically by anybody in my family, and I deserved it. I deserved a lot more than that, quite frankly, and I certainly did from my father. But my father, he said, "Why would you do that?" I didn't say I was influenced by a kid 3, 4 years older than I was, which I was, because I'm the one that did it, not him. So I just apologized and said I'd never do it again, and that was the end of that story. But my dad just, he did everything for us kids. He had to, he's working night and day. Seldom saw him till when the horn used to blow outside and the guy was coming to pick him up to go to work, and he overslept, and I'd have to wake him up. "Here's your pants, Dad. Here's your shoes, Dad. Get out the door."
Yeah.
How's that?
So then he was fine with your enlistment when you enlisted?
Oh, yeah. My dad, like I say, he was a great guy. He wasn't real active in my life in terms of, like, my kids. They all played sports, and I couldn't wait to go see my kids play. My son over in Portland was a quarterback on the football team, and I lived to go to watch him. My dad never saw me play anything, and I played all 3 sports. I played basketball, football, baseball, and I never gave that any thought. I just thought, well, I never gave it any thought. I didn't say, "Gee, I wonder why my dad isn't here." But my dad worked his tail off for us.
Of course.
And his free time, I don't ever remember a bottle of beer being in my refrigerator. And my dad drank beer, but it was never in my refrigerator. Quite to the contrary, now I've never seen my refrigerator without a bottle of beer in it. It's always in there. So, but he'd go down to the corner bar with his pals, and they'd have, a few beers. I'd go in to visit with him sometime if I needed a quarter to go to the movie. But that's how he spent his free time. And then he hooked up with some young lady when he was probably 60 or 70 years old. And, I can't say enough about my dad. He did his best for us. And,
He sounds wonderful.
Nothing about the service. They sent him an article about me making Soldier of the Month, and he was very proud of that. I know that for sure. But he never discussed it with me or what I thought about it or anything like that.
Was he Irish?
He was.
He was.
Yeah, staunch Irish.
But was he from Ireland, or is he?
No. He was not from, but his parents were from Ireland. But he was as Irish. That's the Notre Dame fight song, is what you hear on my phone.
Oh.
That's where the Irish come from. So all 4 of my kids are 100% Irish, even though my wife is Dago, Italian. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, he's Irish.
Well, I have really enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much.
Oh, I enjoy. I told you as soon as I heard honey, I said, well, they might throw me over the coals, or I don't know what they're going to do to me, but if honey's there, I don't have anything to worry
You're
about.
protected. She's sitting right over there. Thank you very much.
Is that all you need?
That's all we
Oh
need.
boy, that's
Thank you.
easy.